Good morning and welcome to Richard Raw's Daily Meditation from the Centre for Action and Contemplation. The theme for this week is Mary Magdalene, and the title of the contribution today, which is Wednesday the 22nd of July, the feast day of Mary Magdalene as it happens, is Faithful to the End. Richard Raw begins by saying that Dermot O'Murchu is an Irish poet, author and friend, and member of the Sacred Heart community. This poem highlights the presence of Mary Magdalene and the women at Jesus' death and resurrection, and invites us to question why we have not honoured their role more fully. Poetry is so much better heard than simply read, so for full effect, read these words aloud, perhaps several times. And this is the poem. What happened to the woman on the first Easter day breaks ope a daring horizon, inviting all hearts to discern mid the grieving and trauma of loss, the horror to stand at the foot of the cross, a body we think was buried in haste, and a tomb that was empty but restless in taste, empowering a strange group of women. What happened to those on the first day of Easter, the faithful disciples by Magdalene led, a subverted truth the patriarchs dread? Beyond all the theories that time has construed, beyond the oppression we have too long endured, the first ones commissioned for Easter proclaim, a woman-led mission we've brutally maimed, but we can't keep subverting empowerment. Resurrection still flourishes, and always it will, imbued with the truth that time will fulfill. What women empowered at the dawning breakthrough will bear fruit in season despite all the treason, because justice will render what deserves to endure. O'Murchu reflects, all the gospel material related to women, none is more enigmatic and empowering than the role of the women in post-resurrection space. I wrote of the women on Calvary remaining faithful to the end. For those women it was anything but an end. Even when the male disciples fled in fear, they remained to wait a new frightening dawn that would propel them into a mission transcending all other missionary endeavours recorded in gospel lore. The early church seemed unprepared for the archetypical breakthrough and proceeded to consign the women to historical invisibility. Richard Raw then contributes again, saying, I think this is a perfect example of how we cannot see what we aren't told to look for. For most of history, Christians glossed over the presence of women at Jesus' death, burial, and resurrection. We weren't wrong, we were simply paying attention to what we were told to look at, the men by other men, priests, theologians, and even gospel writers themselves. We skipped over the faithfulness of the women and focused instead on the faithlessness and the Easter morning foot race of the men. Mary Magdalene and the other women were first witnesses to the resurrection because they remained present for the entire process, from death unto new life, exactly what is necessary to witness resurrections in our own lives as well. That is the end of the meditation.